UndergroundVideoNetwork.com presents the We Talk Too Much podcast.
This is where the fun begins.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, gaming, and everything nerdy.
That's it. This is just too weird.
Now, here's your host of the We Talk Too Much podcast, Mike and Richard.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. I am Mike Boroff.
I'm Richard Catterjohn.
Rich, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, we got a little catching up to do. It's been a week or two.
Yeah, we've been awful busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, not only have we been busy, but like fandom in general, no pun intended, has been really busy. I actually got a chance to go to the movie theater last weekend, and I got a chance to go see Venom. I gotta tell you, Rich, I really liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it too. It was it continues right off the first one, basically.
Yeah. I know one of the things people have the biggest problem with is, for a lot of comic book people, when you think of Venom, you think of, I don't want to say horror, but he could be a terrifying character.
Yeah.
And the direction they went with him, they went full bore on the second movie. They went full Odd Couple. That's the best thing that's the best way I can describe Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, was that Eddie and Venom were literally Oscar and Felix. They were an odd couple, and it was entertaining as hell. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed it. The special effects were nice. I mean, it was a solid story, actually.
I thought that Woody Harrelson made an amazing Cletus Cassidy. Because luckily, Cletus is one of those characters that I am familiar with. I have always bought Spider-Man comic books, but especially when it came into the symbiote universe, it got a little hairy, and they were throwing one shots and mini series of like every single. It's like, do we have a blue symbiote yet? Let's make one up. Yellow? Ow, let's go for it, But Carnage was what really started it after Venom, and so I was familiar with the character, and I was familiar with Cletus. Dude, Woody was channeling his inner natural-born killer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah. He had that full-on creepy serial killer vibe, and he really nailed that character.
Yeah, I enjoyed how they did the origin. It was a little different, but the same. Yeah. So I did thought that was really cool. How we got to see the blood. Like when he spoilers, everybody spoilers. It's been a couple weeks. Everybody's seen it. But yeah, I just thought this was neat how they just continue, because we got a little taste of this in the last movie, and then it went full blown in this one. So
yeah, the way they've handled Venom and the whole thing, because it was really kind of bold of them to do Venom, being that he is a Spider-Man villain and his origin stems from Spider-Man. So to find a workaround not only to Venom's origin, but also the side characters, like Carnage and Shriek, I think they did a really good job of it. They went with what they had available, the background story for that particular universe.
Right. And, things get a little wonky towards the end.
Yeah, let's go ahead and... The movie itself was great. I really liked the story, the background story with Cletus and the girl, Shriek. I thought it was really kind of cool that the love of his life is also like the one person that could hurt Venom and Carnage.
Yeah, it was like his kryptonite,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the love of my life is my symbiote's kryptonite. Yeah, I thought that was great. And I liked how Carnachano says, if she does it again, I'm gonna eat her. You know? But yeah, even the side stuff, with the cop who really makes me wonder if they're going to do anything with him, considering what we saw at the very end of the movie. It's like, are they going to continue that universe, or
or what's going on? I don't know. It's just they always call it the Sony Marvel verse,
Yeah.
whatever. But it seems like now they must be going in different directions, or it's just setting this up because in Loki we know there's a multiverse, spoilers. Yeah. So,
I was really happy.
But
sorry, we talked about before where you see scenes in a preview that you absolutely love, and it, like 9 times out of 10, it doesn't make it into the movie. I'm sorry, but the scene in the bodega with Mrs. Chen, I was so glad to see that they kept that. Like, we're out of Venom, or we're out of chocolate Venom. I will be happy to eat Mrs. Chen. We will not eat Mrs. Chen. I was so in Venom rearranging the magazine with Stanley's face on.
Yeah.
I was really glad to see they kept that.
And I like it when she had the symbiote in her too. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah. Oh man.
But now I guess will we be seeing him in a few short months here coming up with the new Spider-Man movie? They really are leading up to it, or was it something else? In a way. Because they were talking about the symbiote being part of some collective mind. Was it something else other than just the multiverse, or did Venom do that?
Yeah, oh man. I don't know. It could have been like a mixture of the two. Like maybe everything.
But they were talking about because like we've seen the new Spider-Man trailer and Doctor Strange and how Peter Parker messed up the spell and caused probably how all this is going to go down, and then we know that other villains are being moved over. So are we going to have multiple Venoms? Maybe
Yeah.
That would be cool, and then have and then they're talking now that this is going to be the last Spider-Man for Tom Holland.
I read that too, and man, that really broke my heart. That one, I really hope that in the years to come that he reconsiders. I think he's a perfect Spider-Man, and he's at that perfect. I sound like an old man. He's at that perfect age. He's right at the beginning of Spider-Man's career, and I mean it. The possibilities of that franchise going on for a while are there.
Right. But young actors, they want to do other stuff than just be typecast in one part.
True. Yeah.
He can always come back, several years later and play Batman again. I mean, Spider-Man.
I gotta say though, that end scene when they showed Venom licking the screen, that was honestly the creepiest we've seen Venom in both movies. Like, that was legitimately pure Venom creepiness. Like, I didn't like that.
But the whole we go back to the Venom more, they really did take that story in its own direction. I mean, they've had Venom be Venom. He didn't need Spider-Man. We'll go that far. He didn't really need Spider-Man. So to see that part, does Venom know of Spider-Man or something?
Yeah.
Or is there a Spider-Man in that universe, which is one of the other ones that we've seen before? Or what?
Yeah. What was the motivation behind the lick, man? Why?
Well, yeah, that's when you brought it up. That's what I was trying to figure out. I didn't want to go really gross there, but what?
Yeah, because I'm really hoping it's Spider-Man and not this teenage boy, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, look at yeah. I'm like, oh no.
It's spiders. Maybe Venom's like eating spiders. Maybe there's some kind of cosmic spider people or something.
Hey, if you read Spider-Man comic books, man, you might not be far off.
Well,
Oh,
we would go back to the original whole origin of the original Venom. It was actually a Spider-Man costume,
yeah,
that Peter Parker punched a button in and it poured out.
yeah,
And then it become this living symbiont,
yeah.
I mean, what were they thinking? Oh, wait, it was the 80s.
Yeah. Oh man, Secret War. Oh my God, I would love to see a Secret Wars in the future.
You never know. We're getting the invasion, so
Yeah. Hey man, speaking of like Secret Wars, I don't think we've gotten a chance to talk since the finale of What If, have we?
no, we haven't.
Boom. Okay, first of all, Venom, really enjoyed it. DC's or Marvel's version of The Odd Couple in my book. The two of them were great. But yeah, man, let's talk about What If. I called it.
Multiverse.
Oh man.
I guess it did play out like I was hoping. We did get to see my Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah. And I really did appreciate the one scene where when the Watcher is recruiting everybody, when he gets Gamora, he just looks flat at Tony Stark and goes, "Not you, Stark," and takes Gamora. Like, no, not you, Stark. Like, this is a What If episode. You're lucky you're not dead, but I'm not taking you. Dude,
and that was pretty cool because we might be able to get to see that episode eventually, hopefully in season 2.
Yeah.
What they were doing or whatever, because I guess supposedly that script was written, but they just didn't get a chance to film it.
Yeah, here's what was really weird for me, Richard, was because I'm a huge Lego person, and one of the sets that they'd released earlier this year was that suit of armor.
Oh, yeah.
With Tony and Gamora. So as the show was progressing, I'm like, when are we going to see this? And I did feel a little, cheated that we got to see it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, come on, man, you dedicated an entire set to something that got like 5 seconds of screen time.
See, that was the Shakara battle suit or something like that.
Yeah.
Hulk Buster suit, the Shakara Buster. So is Hulk's son something going on or something like that?
I don't know.
I want to see that. That sounds really cool,
But it did feel weird that the only character that Gamora's character was the only one that we didn't get a backstory for. We didn't get an episode for.
Right. Like I said, I think they were pushed for time. I think I think they needed to get it out there. I think they just want to get this because they're setting up this whole multiverse stuff and they just didn't have time to get things done,
Right. But man, what an episode though, man, to see everybody together like that.
And I loved it how the what is it? Not Doctor Strange. It was the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Brought in a Wanda from the zombie universe with all those other
Oh my
zombies.
God, that was
so we got a brief instance of the Ultron zombie war.
when he dumped all of those zombies, that alone was cool enough. But then when he, what was it? Thor was like, "Zombies, hello, zombies." He goes, "It's not the zombies, it's what came with the zombies." I gotta admit though, I felt I know they were pressed for time, but I think we were robbed of a really good, like 5-minute long fight scene between the two of them. And it was just kind of,
yeah.
Ultron fell on this whole thing. He did the same thing when he fought Carol. Screw it. I'm blowing up the entire world. I ain't wasting my time. Boom. And that episode really showed how damn powerful the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange was when he ate that entire explosion.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That whole universe, and he just, whoop, oh. It was like a magic trick. It was like, oh. I really liked when we saw Peggy, Captain Carter, mirroring the Winter Soldier opening.
Yeah.
That was great. I really liked that, to show her and Natasha playing off of each other, just like we saw in Winter Soldier with Natasha and Steve.
Yeah.
It just shows that Natasha, it doesn't matter who it is, has always got Captain, the Captain's back. Because in Winter Soldier, she was trying to set him up with like Nicole from accounting.
Yeah.
But in this universe, it's like, oh, I'm going to set you up with Oscar from accounting, and
But if he was named Steve, wouldn't you? Oh,
oh, that was dirty. That was dirty, and I really liked that, because just that really small interaction showed how close those two were as friends. Because that wasn't just like coworker ribbing,
right.
That was good friend ribbing.
Well, they needed to set that up because of how the finale worked out. So, I mean, to me, that was just a foreshadow of what was really going to happen. Because even when I saw that, I go, uh-oh, we're going to have something between, I knew that's where it was leading to,
Mm-hmm.
Which was great. We got to see, analog versus digital.
That was awesome. And we finally got to see the God, why do I want to say Zemo? Not Zemo. The Doctor.
Oh, now I'm blank. Yeah.
I know.
The Hulu series.
No, that's MODOK. I'm thinking
that's who it is. That's MODOK that was in the arrow that he shot and went in the eye.
No, that wasn't MODOK.
Oh, that's Zordoz. Yeah,
No, you're doing the same thing I am. I'm overthinking it now. I can't think of his name. From the first movie, or from the
Captain
movie.
America.
Yeah. And from was it Winter Soldier? Yeah, it was Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be MODOK. He's supposed to be MODOK, but it's the MCU's version of it.
No. God damn it. The scientist that was working with the Red Skull. Not Zemo. He was famous for, in the comic books, he had the face and the stomach.
Zola. He's Zola. He was
Zola. Zola, yes. Yeah. Armin Zola. God, see, once the latch got opened, the whole because we were teased a little bit of it, because people who know the comic book know that Armin Zola, it was like classically, he was in that giant android body where you saw like the digital face, and we got a little teaser of that in the movie, when he was on the computer screen.
Oh yeah.
But we got to see it, in the body when he took over that Ultron drone.
But that all worked out really good. I like how they set that all up and everything, and then we got to see the team. Like, it was like that team was almost perfect together, because they each had a purpose on how they were going to approach Ultron,
Yeah. And let me ask you your theory on this, Richard. The introduction of the Black Widow from the universe where was her and Clint, and they used the memory stick. I still think that was all done on purpose. I think that was all. It wasn't random that they ended there and they ended up with that Black Widow.
Oh no, I think the Watcher had that all planned out.
Yeah.
He sent him to that universe because he knew that's where the, because he was helping them along anyhow. Remember, with pushing them into that and stuff. So he knew that's how they could defeat Ultron.
Yeah.
And it worked. I think the Watcher even already saw what was going to happen. I think he already knew.
Oh yeah.
And that's how he put this whole thing together.
It was like he was interfering, but yet at the same time, like not directly interfering. You know, like he was
Right.
moving the road signs to get everybody to go, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I can't tell you to go left, but I can move the street sign a little bit to give you the hint to go left.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he did the same thing to Reed Richards a lot back in the
Oh
day.
yeah.
So, you know, it's, but I did, you know, the animation, and I didn't even think something. I was watching a making of the Kirby Crackle with all the
Yes.
rays and stuff, you know.
Yes.
I go,
was awesome.
that is there, because I rewatched
Yep.
that last episode, and that is really straight out of the comics, you know.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby homage, you know.
Yep. The Kirby Crackle was made famous by Jack Kirby when he did a lot of the
cosmic stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, that was priceless. That was a great. Finally, he got a little bit of an homage in those, you know.
And we get the big homage coming up where his Eternals become live action.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Those new trailers are popping up everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And I think this will have to do with the multiverse too, you know, because you know the way it sounds like that one trailer that I just saw, because it was on the one before Venom. It was talking about how the snap released that energy and stuff. So I think it all ties together, and this might go into the multiverse because of these, you know, the Eternals. Also,
And I'm very interested to see how the Celestials justify, you know, I don't want to say letting everything that happened with Thanos happen. You know, it's like, oh, they're here on this world to protect it, but yet they let, you know, like where the shit were they during the final fight?
Well, I don't think they really are. You know, I think the Eternals were told not to you know, their whole thing is not to interfere, you know. But now that this other emergence is going to happen, I think that's what brings them out, you know. Because I think the deviants are getting more power or something within this. Because I know, like in the comic books, they were on Earth to protect the humans from the deviants, and that whole thing plays out. And then, of course, now we found out that the casting for in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
So is this all a big, great cosmic progression, you know? And thus we get our Fantastic Four, I hope, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like the events that happened with Thanos set off like a lighthouse to the rest of the universe within the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? It's like before, you know, it's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's this little insignificant blue dot in the middle of nowhere. And now all of a sudden, you know, shit went down, and, you know, like celestial beings and cosmic beings are like, hey.
Well, Earth has always been supposedly in the Marvel universe the like
Nexus?
the nest. Yeah, well, it's the nexus to the universe or something, you know. They've always kind of wrote that. Stan Lee always had that back in the day, that like all the stuff was going to happen because of the Earth and the Earthlings and stuff like that, because that's how like the mutants came out of it and stuff. So will we be getting mutants now finally too? You know, because of all this other stuff, you know. I mean, we got to get the X-Men in here somehow, because, you know, they need to start making money off the X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney wouldn't have spent all that money for Fox if they didn't want to recoup.
Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't buy them out just to mothball the property.
I know they had to kind of realign their universe to bring that in, and thus the multiverse did do that. And then they're starting to bring out all this little stuff, you know, because, you know, like we saw with Quicksilver, you know, the little teases and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I think this is how they're going to get us all ready. Then I think by like 2024, we'll have all this break loose, and it's just going to be this huge, big thing on Disney Plus, you know.
Speaking of Disney Plus, some other really big news that came out the last couple of days is that we haven't seen the last of Agatha Harkness.
Oh yeah.
And it was revealed that she will be getting her own I'm going to call them a mini series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, series.
Me and Richard are old school, and we think mini series. I think like Thornbirds, or, you know, what we used to see on network TV. But
the day after, you know.
Yeah, but she's getting her own series, and
Yeah.
speculation is already going rampant on, is it going to be present? Is it going to be, I want to see more backstory?
Right.
She's been around since the Salem witch trial, so there's a lot of story there.
And there's a lot of other stuff that happened with her in the comic books that they could dig out of. So, they could go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
And as I've been just saying, Fantastic Four is tied into her storyline a lot.
Yep.
So, Franklin Richards, she helped nanny him basically. So, and she even helped the Scarlet Witch. And she was kind of doing that in this series too, even though she was going to probably steal her powers. But,
Yeah.
And the other trailer dropped for Disney Plus for the holidays.
Hawkeye. Oh man, dude, I'm telling you, that the preview they showed for the Hawkeye show is finally, it looks like it's finally giving Hawkeye the recognition that he deserved. I am a huge Hawkeye fan. The movies and the comic books. They didn't. I will agree with them. They didn't make him like a one note joke in the show and in the movies,
Right. But he was very limited though. What he could
Yes.
do. I mean, you have the Hulk over here smashing. You had him with his trick arrows. I mean,
and I mean, for a fan, there's a lot of moments that you sidestep. Like even from the first Avengers movie, one of my favorite scenes is the fact that he shot that one Shikari guy without even looking at him. And even in the comic books, it wasn't always just that he was really good. They always said that he was like, in the comic books, was like borderline mutant, where his skills were more than human, but not superhuman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was in that gray area.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the level of like, was it Bullseye or somebody like that?
Yeah, damn near superhuman, but not quite mutant. Didn't have the gene.
Yeah.
But man, for someone like me who is a fan of the comic book, both of Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, dude, they're pulling from every place.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of scenes, even in just that trailer, like the I don't want to say Crimson Guard because that's Star Wars, but the Russian guys they show fighting him in like the red velour suits.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's Matt Fraction's run right there, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene where they show the one guy chucking that Molotov cocktail into the building. Clint catches it and whips it right. God damn it, that was so badass. I watched that scene, that 2-second scene, like 9 times. It's just Chuck, nope, yoink, yoink, then you eat.
I still think the only thing missing is a certain Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
So I wonder how she's going to fit in all of this. I know we're going to get 2 episodes right off the bat. Because I guess the first day of release, we're going to have 2 episodes. I think, was that November 22nd, 4th?
Yeah, just in time for the holidays.
Yeah. Well, it's set in the holidays, It's like Home Alone. Oh.
But I really loved the, and I'm hoping they did it on purpose because I think they realized the first edit I saw of the preview, everybody, fans of Hawkeye were kind of like, where does wife go? I mean, we saw the kids.
Right.
But we didn't see Linda Cardellini. And we're like, ooh. And the latest cut, they showed her, even for a brief second, it was enough to acknowledge, okay, they're still married. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about.
I need another day,
Yeah. Things have gotten a little complicated,
Yeah, I just think this is going to set this up good. And then, like I said, we get the Kate Bishop, which Marvel is really pushing Did you see that little the animated trailer for the comic? That
Yes,
was,
I did.
and then she's getting her own Hawkeye Kate Bishop series, so
Mhm.
and I just like how they're calling her Hawkeye now too. I think that's really helps out.
Well, no, they. Speaking as a fan, I'm going to call you on it. They have always called her
I
Hawkeye.
know, but it just seems like they're really marketing it now.
Right.
Because they hadn't really marketed it that way, because the other Hawkeye was still, you know what I'm saying? And I think
Mhm.
now they want to capitalize on this series that's going to be on Disney Plus, and they see a chance to. It's the synergy behind this new Marvel phase they're trying to.
Yeah.
Because you know how they keep doing different phases and stuff. They're doing it again in the comics. They're setting up what they were originally trying to do and stuff like that. So hopefully this will all work out in the long run.
And it's another one of those steps towards seeing the I don't want to say Young Avengers, because she was more of the oh hell, I think I just picked it up. But the not Outsiders, but that group with
Oh, the new West Coast one, yeah.
yeah.
Where it was supposed to be like the West Coast Avengers, but it was something else. Yeah, it was Hawkeye started that new team, right? Or wasn't it, or something like that? I don't remember, because I kind of wasn't reading during that time frame, because that was just like 2 years ago or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, I was reading that because it was Kate moved out to the West Coast to set herself up on her own
Right. Yeah.
and kind of inadvertently started. If I remember correctly from the comic book, it started off as a joke because it was like the crowd was there and someone made a joke about is it the West Coast Avengers, and they just kind of ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah. But I think Marvel's got some good stuff going on, especially if they can keep moving off this Disney Plus. It just seems like Disney Marvel is just going to start building on top of this.
Yeah, it's like they're really laying the foundation for, like Captain Winter Soldier is leading up towards um, the next Captain America movie starring Sam Wilson as Captain
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Everything with WandaVision is leading up towards Doctor Strange, and even the stuff in What If is leading up to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I think we're going to see that they can do anything now
Yeah.
again. Because I still thought they limited themselves too much, but I think they had to do that to start it and build the foundation so it was solid. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they needed to break the mold and just go in any direction,
Yeah.
just to tell a good story. That's all
Yeah.
I want are good stories. I don't want, these huge battle movies. I want a real story behind all these. I just don't want, DC has a little problem with that.
Yeah.
So and I hope that Marvel kind of keeps going and just makes whatever they can with their characters. They'll like Venom. Venom didn't need Spider-Man. Which
Yeah,
was crazy.
exactly.
Whoever thought they could pull off a Venom movie and not have Spider-Man involved? I know that was one of the things they were talking about when they first dropped. I remember going to the theater and seeing the first Venom.
Yeah.
And I go, this didn't need Spider-Man.
Yeah. And we didn't need Spider-Man for Venom or Eddie Brock either.
You're right.
Which was,
And then like the Mobius is supposed to be coming out too, and that's
Yep.
Got pushed back. I mean, it's done. They just haven't released it yet. So I hope we get that from Sony too, so we can see more of maybe where all this outside was going to happen. Because I wish we could have seen that already. You know what I'm saying? It just feels
Yeah.
like we're missing some pieces because of all the stuff that happened last year and no releases and stuff. And things just didn't quite fall in order. So I hope things get caught up and we can start seeing what we need to see from Marvel.
Yeah, I really think that especially Disney Plus has done a world of wonder for Marvel to, like you said, get them back on track after the pandemic.
You're right. And we keep seeing more and more stuff, because I want to see Eternal so bad, you know.
Oh yeah,
In a way, when I first heard about that, I'm going, I don't want to see the Eternal, you know. But now, after this last couple of trailers, because they got a inside scoop and stuff, and I see where they're going to come about involving the rest of the MCU with them, and I think
yeah,
they will set this cosmic stage more than even Guardians of the Galaxy, you know.
yeah. Yeah, it was almost like Guardians set it up. How do I put it? Like cosmically, in the sense that we're not, we're not alone in this universe.
Right.
That
And
there's
then
other,
like Captain Marvel brought it back home,
yes,
and now we're going to see what happens,
and it's like they introduced the concept of aliens.
Yeah.
Eternals is going to really introduce the idea of the cosmic
Right.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, I just want to see the Nova Corps come up next.
Um,
I've always been a Nova fan, and I think they need to do that to make this set up for, like a Young Warriors or something,
as long as we get to see John C. Reilly in a Nova uniform again, I'll be happy.
Yay, Road State College phones are back up. Yay. I still get Road State texts.
Oh my God. But yeah, Marvel's not the only one who's been dropping a lot of stuff here recently, man. And just
today.
today. Today was what do they call it? DC Fandom.
Yeah, this was the second one because they had one last year and this was this year.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Speak of multiverses.
Yeah. I mentioned the Flash. I think I really love Ezra Miller. I just like that guy. Everything he's done so far that I've seen him in, I've really enjoyed. I really enjoy him as Barry Allen. I like the segment they dropped for the Flash where Ezra was like, oh, we're still in production. We don't have enough for a trailer. We don't have enough for a teaser. So I asked them to, to put something together. Whatever it was they put together was better than most teasers I've seen in the last few years. Holy wow.
Yeah, they're a little further along in that production than I think they're led.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting like maybe a couple like storyboards, and maybe some animation or something, but they brought the scenes, man. And I don't think any of us needed to see what was underneath that tarp to know what was underneath that. That was a very definitive shape.
Yep.
That was a very specific Batmobile.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see Batman Returns,
Yeah. And which segue, by the way, speaking of Michael Keaton's Batman, if you haven't got a chance to yet, go to your local comic book store. Mine was Alter Ego Comic, and pick up. I just picked it up today. The latest issue of Batman '89. So good. But yeah, oh man, and it was really weird to see Ezra Miller with Ezra Miller.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. They're going full on. I hate to say the word multiverse because that's probably trademarked by somebody.
No, it's not. They can both use it, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not Marvel centric, I don't think.
Oh, good.
Either they got Elseworlds, so.
Yeah. But even in the background, we got to see Supergirl.
Right.
That was a nice little drop right there.
Yeah, that's going to be a good movie. I think. We know for sure it's Flashpoint now too. I think the way they were talking. So
yeah, because it was the voiceover was like you change the future by changing the past.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
And then of course we know that the other Batman's in there too. So we're going to have multiple Batmans and multiple Flashes and Supergirls and who knows what, you know.
I really just want to see Grant Austin show up just to book in the Ezra Miller cameo from the Flash TV show. Even if it's just him running into the room and going, "Nope, I'm out." Poof. You know.
Well, you know, like on the Marvel side on Disney Plus, they have HBO Max, and they released a lot of information, a lot of shows that's going to be on HBO Max.
Oh yeah!
Did you? The best thing I heard so far was Pennyworth is coming to HBO Max.
Yep.
You know, they're going to move the 2 first seasons, and the third is going to be exclusively on Max now. It's going to be a Max original. So.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Pennyworth, I've been reading the comic books. I've gotten this current run and the previous run. Oh, and by the way, nope, sorry, I almost jumped to a different thing because of Pennyworth. But it's the story of it's the young Alfred Pennyworth Chronicles. Dude, so good, man. The book is really good. It really showed his time as a British Secret Service, and it really showed too how the book has been really good because he's following in his father's footsteps, and he's learning about being both a spy and a butler. And you see just actually how brilliantly those two worlds intertwine with each other. It's like as a butler, you learn to keep you learn to be quiet, watch everybody, see what everybody's doing. And in the comic books, while they're showing him as, you know, a Secret Service agent, taking those lessons he learned.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that person's left-handed, you know, that person's avoiding the salt. So, you know, it's just the little stuff. And when I heard it got picked up by HBO Max, I was like, that is going to be awesome.
Yeah, because I just didn't want to pay the extra money for the series. It just wasn't worth it to me, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, it just seems like they're going to have almost everything on HBO Max now. I mean, Doom Patrol, Titans extended for season 4. You know, I mean, I was so nervous that Titans, you know, episode 3 was going to be, or I mean, season 3 was going to be the last.
Yep.
You know? Because they originally kind of even said that probably this would have been the last season.
Yeah.
But this season's been great.
Oh,
man. Up to right now, you know. I mean, we could do a whole episode just about this whole season because we haven't really talked about it much. You know, I just loved how they did all this undead stuff, you know, like right after Tim died and they went into the netherworld and Hawk was there, you know, and Donna Troy was there and stuff, you know. So I just loved how that whole episode just around that coming back. And then you turn around, Dick gets killed, you know, and then he goes off. I mean, no one stays dead in comic books, you know, because, you know, we got the Red Hood and all that storyline. And I love how they tweaked it and fit this all together.
Yeah. And I really like how they handled Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Jonathan Crane.
Yeah.
Oh, because it would have been really easy for them to just go the old-fashioned Scarecrow route and have him don the, you know, the costume, you know, but these last couple episodes has really made the Scarecrow a really interesting character, even more so than the Dark Knight did.
Well, especially after when he killed his mom there.
Oh shit, yeah.
That was crazy. And then he butchered that guy in the Batcave, the pizza delivery guy. But I will never be able to listen to
Waterfalls the same way. Oh my god.
But I loved how he manipulated Jason into this whole persona, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the anti-fear, you know, drug, you know, that was supposed to block your fear, you know.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of how he used to be. And then setting this all up just like the, you know, and then Superboy.
Oh.
That's going into Kingdom Come territory.
Yeah, it is. And I can't stress enough how much I love how they're handling Connor. He's not just a Superman clone. He's not just like the brute strength or the heat vision, They are really playing up the Lex Luthor side of his DNA.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he was working on them computer systems there, trying to figure out how to redo the bomb and everything.
Yep.
I mean, he was a little slow and was a few seconds late, but Now, speak of that, how are we going to bring Hawk back if his body was totally blown to pieces?
I don't know.
You can't just throw him in the pit and bring him back to life.
Well, do you think they're going to use the pit? Because look what they did with Donna Troy. It was like Donna literally just stepped out of the afterworld.
Right.
They didn't need her body. It was
yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he's even coming back. Maybe that was just a teaser. Maybe he is going to stay this Nether character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because the promo they showed a lot of previous clips.
Yeah. It didn't show much coming up what they're going to do with his character. And I think this is just going to wrap up the whole Gotham City stuff, right?
Yeah.
Finale. I mean, they do have to get this over with because I think this went just a little too long. Because I think the full 13 episodes with them trying to destroy Gotham just was a little too long.
Yeah, and the whole idea that Jonathan Crane was so easily able to manipulate the citizens of Gotham into believing the Titans were bad, that I'm not gonna lie to you, I had issue with that. Because this is Gotham. Gotham knows who Jonathan Crane is.
Yeah, but the Titans were so new in this universe too.
Right.
Because they were out in San Francisco, and then they came to Gotham or Detroit or whatever it's called. They're playing Gotham up more like Detroit than they are anything.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because the backdrop looks like Detroit to me.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
But I really think that, I don't know, is Batman ever coming back too? I mean, where's he up to? I mean, he killed the Joker. I mean, that was...
Yeah. But yeah, that was my only problem is you think the Titans would have came out on TV and went, you guys are listening to the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Scarecrow. Established superheroes. Supervillain.
Right. I think a lot of that had to do with the whole manipulation because I think they were trying to play off like the modern day society where they're trying to divide the country and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
He was using the same premise and stuff like that. And then, of course, now he has the fear chemical that he was going to release, So I think this is all playing off almost like the one movie in the trilogy series where Gotham gets barricaded on its own and stuff like that.
The one with Bane, yeah. Which they did that too. They locked down Gotham City. Nobody could come in and nobody could leave.
Right. They're playing off of that, and I think that's good for this. But I just wish for season 4 they're going to go in a whole nother direction. I just wish they could get away from the Batman mythos. I think they needed to create the Titans as the Titans, go with some of the Marv Wolfman's older stories or something, I don't know.
And my other beef with it is the whole thing stemmed from Jonathan Crane breaking into the Oracle.
Right.
I'm calling bullshit on that one. He's a master
manipulator. He's never been known to be tech savvy. Right. And I don't know if he was trying to use psychology and because it was an AI. So he tricked the AI. So maybe not. Who knows? But no, it's still, aside from, a couple gripes here and there, man, Titans has been awesome. We finally got to see what Rachel's been up to. Right. Training with the Themyscirians. We got to see her come back. That was... And Beast Boy turning into that bat. That was crazy. Oh, that was dope. Oh, man. And then Doom Patrol season 3 dropped. I mean, it was crazy. I'm only on episode. I only watched episode 1, so I'm like two behind now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, but the first episode was great.
But you want to talk about master casting, bringing in Michelle Gomez, who, if you're a Doctor Who fan, I love her. I love Missy Gomez. When they introduced her as the Master in Doctor Who during Peter Capaldi's run,
right?
She was one of the big reasons why I even gave Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, on Netflix, a chance, because I'm like,
Right.
It looks okay. Is that Michelle Gomez? Add to queue. And she is outstanding. And I'm not going to ruin anything for you, Richard, but I mean, they hyped her up in the previews that she's a time traveler.
Right.
Again, perfect casting, and man, she enters into every scene and just steals the show and everything she does, man. Her role in the Doom Patrol. Oh,
let's sidestep for a moment. Doctor Who season starting October the 31st.
Yeah, we're getting a Halloween. As a classic Who fan, the one thing we always had to look forward to every year, and they really can give or take, they always did it on Christmas. We had a Christmas episode, man. They were like, nope, we're bringing them in. We're coming in hot. We're coming in on Halloween.
And we get all 8 episodes. It's 2, then 6 more,
Yeah.
And then supposedly she's already filmed her regeneration sequence. So
yes, I read that interview with her was that she shot the regeneration scene, but even she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And she said, she goes, I couldn't tell you if I did know, but she goes, even I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
they could shoot those and not see who they're turning into,
Yeah, they've done it before, where they showed the regeneration and then it snaps.
Yeah. This is kind of exciting time for geek culture.
And I'm really kind of upset because they also revealed that Russell T Davies is returning as the forerunner of the show.
Yeah.
His run was spectacular for David Tennant and a little bit with Matt Smith. That was some of the best Doctor Who we've ever had. He handled that show masterfully. A lot of the issues people had with this last year of Doctor Who honestly wasn't with Jodie, that being a woman doctor. The writing she wasn't getting the scripts that she deserved. It was bad writing. And I'm coming at you as a diehard Whovian. That was not the best writing. Those were not the best episodes. And it was really heartbreaking that his return is coming at the end of her run. Because I would have loved to have seen what he could have done with her character. She was brilliant. I love Jodie Whittaker as a doctor. You can't blame her for bad stories.
But I think this might justify this last season. I hope this gives her a strong send-off and that she can finish strong with being the Doctor.
Yeah.
But back to DC now. I'm sorry we had to digress there, but when you brought up time travel, I just had to mention that because that kind of took us by surprise because that really wasn't even foreshadowed that was going to happen.
No, and like I said, I'm a diehard Doctor Who fan. I'm up on everything. And we were, all of us fans over the past couple of decades, like I said, one thing that we have to look forward to is the Christmas episode, which was going to set the tone for the next season. They're coming in guns a-blazing for Halloween.
And speaking of Halloween, the new Halloween movie is awesome.
Let me ask you, Richard, because do you have to have the paid Peacock to watch it? Or
yeah, I did. It was $9.99. It was $9.99. It was either pay $5 to go to the theater, paid $9.99, and there was a couple other things I wanted to watch, so I paid the $9.99 for a month. I'm not going to keep it. Sorry, Peacock, but I'm only going to keep it for a month.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. That's really not a bad idea, Richard.
I mean, you can cancel it in a month. It said right there in your
Yeah.
contract, you can keep it for a month. And I was going to pay $5 to go to the theater, and it's like, what's $4 more or $5
Yeah.
more, But, but yeah, DC. Back to that, man. They released everything. I mean, The Rock's debut
Oh,
of Black Adam. That was great today because when they showed him on that virtual set and everything, he's talking about how he thinks he was born to play this
oh
part.
yeah.
I mean, he looks just like Black Adam.
He really does. Not since Patrick Stewart was cast as Professor Xavier have I seen a casting that was more perfect. And I liked how he put it, the hierarchy in DC Universe is about to change.
And then they showed that little sequence where he gets summoned, where that Indiana Jones wannabe summons him,
Yeah.
and then all those looks like terrorists or something around him.
And we got to see a little bit of the JSA.
Right.
That's another really good casting right there. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to hear how they project his voice. Pierce Brosnan is one of those guys where he has a very distinct voice, and it's just like I can't wait to hear how they do the projection of his voice as Dr. Fate. Oh.
And then he was even talking about how, I've done a bunch of big, how did he say, big adventure movies in Bond. This is even bigger.
Yeah.
when he said that, it's like, whoa, this must be something else, because he just doesn't say stuff like that.
No.
And then we got to see some other previews. We get Young Justice back.
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you, man, the one thing DC does do really well is their animated properties. Be it their animated shows or the animated movies. Bringing back Young Justice for another season is brilliant, and it looked fantastic.
It's going to be on the HBO Max again, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is, like you said, I think HBO Max is DC's version of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to keep both of them if you're a true fan,
HBO, between us, just between us, Rich, we don't have to. HBO Max is what DC Universe was trying to be.
Yeah, I thought DC Universe was going to work. I really did. I was
did
on
too.
board from the beginning. I go, this is going to work great, but it just didn't have the overall appeal that it needed, And HBO Max has those other segments which they can bring in more money. It just wasn't going to make money just to be by itself.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other things that you wouldn't have seen on DC Universe that you find on HBO Max are bringing in the audience that will also be like, hey, you know what? Titans looks pretty cool. Let's give it a chance. And then they find out that they really like that show.
Yeah. Or like they're used to the adult material on like HBO. Or I mean, I don't want to say adult but the more mature TV series on HBO. And then you flip on Doom Patrol. Oh, this is it's more mature. This isn't your comic book character. This isn't your normal funny jokes.
Yeah.
Even though it is kind of funny.
I tried playing the Cliff Steele F-bomb drinking game, passed out in 5 minutes. Like every time he says, yep, but I woke up 3 days later. I'm like, never playing that again.
Well, I kind of was freaked there when I was watching The Rock do his Black Adam thing. He said shit in that.
Yes, in the
his fandom thing,
Yeah.
So it was like, whoa, this isn't quite your normal DC.
I have a very strong feeling, Richard, that was, I'm not saying ad lib, but that was off the cuff, and that like, that's The Rock. We can't tell him to reshoot it. It's The Rock.
Just let it go.
Like
because
that was
you had to
that was.
isn't that the one where you had to sign in your age before you could go into it?
Oh, I don't know. I saw it off of
Oh, okay.
something else, you know.
Yeah, I went straight into like the website itself, and I think you had to say your age to go in. So I don't know. I think DC is trying to be more mature. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to shoot for
Yeah.
the older generation, like us, you
Yeah.
know, which is the older
gearing-
generation.
Yeah, they're gearing toward the generation that grew up watching the comic books. The generation that grew up reading the comic books that has money.
Yeah, yeah. Or we some of us do.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a really between everything coming out with from Marvel's Marvel's previews to DC Fandom today. Today was a really good day, Richard, for people like us.
And
But
then last weekend we had New York Comic Con. There was a bunch of stuff that came out of New York Comic Con too, because that's where we got the bunch of the Marvel stuff last week. You know, and then this week, and then the Last Wizard is going on this weekend too.
Yep, Chicago, right?
Yeah,
yeah, because we have friends that are going to be up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, real quick, Richard, because I know you have been keeping up on sharing everything that's come out of like DC Fandom and Marvel. For anyone watching and or listening, Richard, where can they find everything of ours?
Yeah, the easiest way to start is just go to undergroundvideonetwork.com, and there you can find all our video archive at the UVN Plus video archives, or go to all our socials. The links are there. We were on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm starting to do Twitter a little bit more ever since that little crash there a couple weeks ago. But that's where you can find us. And I do have, I never brought that up. Where are we at? There we go. Undergroundvideonetwork.com for all our video listeners. It's popped up now.
All right. So on behalf of myself, Michael Borup, and my good friend Richard Catterjohn, we hope that everybody's staying safe and healthy, and we really hope to see you at a comic book store or a con real soon. Richard, if you would kindly please press the button.